Can't see where the numbers. Oh, up there. Okay. Hi, everybody. And a special hi to Jackson, Matthew, Marjorie, and little Emily, and everybody else. Now, chapter 6 is next. The surprise of Blackie the Crow. You may remember the last chapter back, Bowser the Hound found an empty or a sugar house or a sap camp with nobody around. And the door was, he was able to push the door open, found a little bit of hay in the corner and curled up on it and went to sleep. So at least he was in under cover and some hay to lay on. Now, chapter 6. The harder it is to follow a trail, the greater reason you should not fail. That's from Bowser the Hound. At all seasons of the year, Blackie the Crow was something of a traveler. But in winter, he is much more of a traveler than in summer. You see, in winter, it's not nearly so easy to pick up a living. Food is quite as scarce for Blackie the Crow in winter as for any of the other little people who neither sleep their winter away nor go south. All of the feathered folks have to work and work hard to find food enough to keep them warm. You know it is food that makes heat in the body. So in the winter, Blackie is in the habit of flying long distances in search of food. He often goes some miles from the thick hemlock tree in the green forest where he spends his nights. You may see him starting out early in the morning and returning late in the afternoon. Now Blackie knew all about that river into which Bowser the Hound had fallen. There was a certain place on that river where Jack Frost never did succeed in making ice. Sometimes things good to eat would be washed up along the edge of this open place. Blackie visited it regularly. He was on the way there now, flying low over the treetops. Presently, he came to a little opening among the trees. In the middle of it was a little house, a rough little house. Blackie knew all about it. It was a sugar camp. He knew that only in the spring of the year was he likely to find anybody about there. All the rest of the year it was shut up. Every time he passed that way, Blackie flew over it. Blackie's eyes were very sharp indeed, as everybody knows. Now, as he drew near, he noticed right away that the door was partly open. It hadn't been that way the last time he passed. "Oh!" exclaimed Blackie. "I wonder if the wind blew that open, or if there's someone inside. I think I'll watch a while." So Blackie flew to the top of a tall tree from which he could look all over the little clearing, could watch the door of the little house. For a long time he sat there, as silent as the trees themselves. Nothing happened. He began to grow tired. Rather, he began to grow so hungry that he became impatient. "If there's anybody in there, he must be asleep," muttered Blackie to himself. "I'll see if I can wake him up." Caw, 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 caw. Blackie waited a few minutes, then repeated his cry. He did this 3 times and had just made up his mind that there was nobody inside that little house when a head appeared in the doorway. Blackie was so surprised he nearly fell from his perch. "As I live," he muttered, "that is Bowser the Hound. Certainly is. Now what is he doing way over here? I've never known him to go so far from home before." And that's the end of that chapter. Let's take a quick look, though, before I close the book up for the night, at that picture in the front. Well, as soon as I find it. Well, I don't know, guys. I know the picture's in here somewhere. Oh. Roxy, where is it? Okay. That's what was happening at the end of that chapter. Blackie the Crow's up in the tree on the branch, and there's the sugar house, or the sap camp, and look, after all that cawing Blackie did, Bowser the Hound came to the doorway, and Blackie was so surprised he almost fell off the tree limb. So we'll see what happens next. So Bowser apparently spent the night inside. I'm glad he found it, that place. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next time.